Shalom, shalom, good evening, good evening. This is the time where you bring all your problems to the altar. The altar is the spirit. The spirit is what brings and mediates the decisions of whatever you bring into this altar and answers you are looking for. We do things a little different. We're not like your normal program, church. You give everything to God telepathically in your mind. Shut your eyes and be at peace in the comfort of the hands of the Lord as she reads what the purpose design of the Spirit has ordained for all of us to hear. Again, when you're done with your prayer, you can listen or you can just get off. But make sure you stamp the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, or those, whoever the Savior upon your language, the Savior name, and you expect what you had laid at the altar, and it's only between you and the Most High. That's what prayer in the closet means within ourselves. Elderess Janus, you have the floor.
Amen. I'm here. I'm at Ecclesiastes, King James Version, chapter 6 and chapter 7. And it says, "There is an evil which I have seen under the sun. It is common among men. A man to whom God has given riches, wealth, and honor, so that he wanted nothing for his soul all that he desired, yet God giveth him not power to eat thereof. But a stranger eateth it. This is vanity, and it's an evil disease. If a man begat 100 children and live many years, so that the days of his years be many, and his soul be not filled with good, and also that he have no burial, I say that an untimely birth is better than he. For he cometh in with vanity, and departeth in darkness, and his name shall be covered with darkness. Moreover, he has not seen the sun, nor known anything. This has more rest than the other. Yea, though he live 1,000 years twice told, yet have he had no good. Do not all go to one place? All the labor of man is for his mouth, and yet the appetite is not filled. For what hath the wise more than the fool? Okay. For what have the wise more than the fool? What have the poor that knoweth to work before the living? Better is the sight of the eyes than the wandering of the desire. This also vanity and vexation of spirit. That which have been is named already, and it is known that it is man. Neither may he contend with him that is mightier than he. Seeing there be many things that increase vanity, what is man the better? For who knoweth what is good for a man in his life, all the days of his vain life which he spendeth as a shadow? For who can tell a man what shall be after him under the sun? Chapter 7. A good name is better than precious ointment, and the day of death than the day of one's birth. It is better to go to the house of mourning than to go to the house of feasting, for that is the end of all men, and the living will lay it to his heart. Sorrow is better than laughter, for by sadness of the countenance of the heart is made better. The heart of the wise is in the house of mourning, but the heart of fools is in the house of mirth. It is better to hear the rebuke of the wise than for a man to hear the songs of fools. For as the crackling of thorns under a pot, so is the laughter of the fool. This also is vanity. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. Better is the end of the thing than the beginning thereof, and the patient in spirit is better than the proud in spirit. Be not hasty in the spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools. Say not thou, what is the cause that the former days were better than these? For thou doest not inquire wisely concerning this. Wisdom is good with an inheritance, and by it there is profit to them that see the sun. For wisdom is a defense, and money is a defense. But the excellency of knowledge is that wisdom giveth life to them that have it. Consider the work of God, For who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? In the day of prosperity, be joyful, but in the day of adversity, consider. God has also set the one over the other, to the end that man should find nothing after him. All things have I seen in the days of vanity. There is a just man that perishes in his righteousness, and there is a wicked man that prolongeth his life in his wickedness. But not righteous over much, so be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why should thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldst take hold of this. Yea, also from this withdraw not thy hand, for he that feareth God shall come forth of them all. Wisdom strengtheneth the wise more than 10 mighty men which are in a city. But there is not a just man upon the earth that doeth good and sinneth not. And also take no heed unto words that are spoken, lest they hear thy servant curse thee. For oftentimes also thine own heart knoweth that thou thyself likewise hast cursed others. All this I have proved by wisdom. I said I will be wise, but it was far from me. That which is far off and exceeding deep, who can find it? I applied my heart to know and to search and to seek out wisdom and the reason of things and to know the wickedness of folly, even of foolishness and madness. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets and her hands as bands. Also pleases God shall escape from her. Whoso pleases God shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found. Lo, this only have I found, that God has made man upright, but they have sought out many inventions. That is the conclusion right now for Ecclesiastes in chapter 7, chapter 6, and chapter 7. Now I will change to the book in the Sefer, the book of Sirach, which is called Ecclesiasticus at chapter 6. And it says, instead of a friend, become not an enemy, for thereby you shall inherit an ill name, shame, and reproach. Even so shall a sinner that has a double tongue. Extol not yourself in the counsel of your own heart, that your soul be not torn in pieces as a bull, stray and alone. You shall eat up your leaves and lose your fruit, and leave yourself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that has it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. Sweet language will multiply friends, and a fair speaking tongue will increase kind greetings. Be in peace with many. Nevertheless, have but one counselor of 1,000. If you will get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. For some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of your trouble. There is a friend who, being turned to enmity and strife, will discover your reproach. Again, some friend is a companion as the table, and will not continue in the day of your affliction. But in your prosperity, he will be as yourself, and will be bold over your servants. If you be brought low, he will be against you, and will hide himself from your face. Separate yourself from your enemies. Take heed of your friends. A faithful friend is a strong defense, and he that hath found such one has found a treasure. Nothing countervails a faithful friend, and his excellency is invaluable. A faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear Yahuwah shall find him. Whoso fears Yahuwah shall direct his friendship aright, for as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. My son, Gather instruction from your youth up. So shall you find wisdom till your old age. Come unto her as one that plows and sows. Wait for her good fruits, for you shall not toil much and labor about her, but you shall eat of her fruits right soon. She is very unpleasant to the unlearned. He that is without understanding will not remain with her. She will lie upon him as a mighty stone of trial. He will cast her from him ere it be long. For wisdom is according to her name, and she is not manifest unto many. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel. And put your feet into her fetters, and your neck into her chain. Bow down your shoulders, bear her, and be not grieved with her bonds. Come unto her with your whole heart, and keep her ways with all your power. Seek, search, and seek, and she shall be made known unto you. And when you have got hold of her, let her not go. For at last you shall find her rest, and that shall be turned to your joy. Then shall her fetters be a strong defense for you, and her chains a robe of glory. For there is a golden ornament upon her. Her bands are purple lace. You shall put her on a robe, as on a robe of honor, and shall put her about you as a crown of joy. My son, if you will, you shall be taught, and you will apply your mind. You shall be prudent. If you love to hear, you shall receive understanding. If you bow your ear, you shall be wise. Stand in the multitude of the elders. Cleave unto him that is wise. Be willing to hear every holy discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape you. And if you see a man of understanding, get you early unto him, and let your foot wear the steps of his door. Let your mind be upon the ordinances of Yahuwah, and meditate continually in his commandments. He shall establish your heart and give you wisdom at your own desire. Chapter 7. Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto you. Depart from the unjust, and iniquity shall turn away from you. My son, sow not upon the furrows of your unrighteousness, and you shall not reap them sevenfold. Seek not of Yahuwah preeminence, neither of the king of the seat of honor. Justify not yourself before Yahuwah, and boast not of your wisdom before the king. Seek not to be judged, being not able to take away iniquity, lest at any time you fear the person of the mighty, a stumbling block in the way of your uprightness. Offend not against the multitude of a city, then you shall not cast yourself down among the people. Bind not one sin upon another, for in one you shall not be unpunished. Say not, Elohim will look upon the multitude of my oblations. When I offer to El Elyon, he will accept it. Be not faint-hearted when you make your prayer, and neglect not to give alms. Laugh no man to scorn in the bitterness of his soul, for there is one which humbles and exalts. Devise not a lie against your brother, neither do the like to your friend. Use not to make your any manner of lie, for the custom thereof is not good. Use not many words in a multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when you pray. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which El Elyon has ordained. Number not yourself against the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will tarry long. Humble yourself greatly, for the vengeance of the wicked is fire and worms. Change not a friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. Forego not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold. Whereas your servant works truly, and treat him not evil, nor the heroine that bestows himself wholly for you. Let your soul love a good servant, and defraud not him not of liberty. Have you cattle? Have an eye to them, and if they be for your profit, keep them with you. Have you children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth. Have you daughters? Have a care of their body, and show not yourself careful toward them. Marry a daughter, so shall you have performed a weighty matter. But give her to a man of understanding. Have you a woman after your mind? Forsake her not, but give her yourself over to a light woman. Honor your father with your whole heart, and forget not the sorrows of your mother. Remember that you were begotten of them, and how you can recompense them the things that they have done for you. Fear ye, fear Yahuwah with all your soul, and reverence his priest. Love him that made you with all your strength, and forsake not his ministers. Fear Yahuwah, and honor the priest, and give him his portion as it is commanded you, the first fruits and the trespass offering, and the gift of shoulders, and the sacrifice of sanctification, the first fruits of the holy things. And stretch your hand and unto the poor, that your blessing may be perfected. A gift has grace in the sight of every man living, and for the dead detain it not. Fail not to be with them that weep, mourn with them that mourn. Be not slow to visit the sick, for that shall make you to be beloved. Whatsoever you take in your hand, remember the end, and you shall never do amiss. Chapter 8. Strive not with a mighty man, lest you fall into his hands. Be not as variance with a rich man, lest he overweigh you. For gold has destroyed many and perverted the hearts of kings. Strive not with a man that is full of tongue, and heap not wood upon his fire. Jest not with a rude man, lest your ancestors be disgraced. Reproach not a man that turns from sin, but remember that we are all worthy of punishment. Dishonor not a man in his old age, for even some of us wax old. Rejoice not over your greatest enemy being dead, but remember that we die all. Despise not the discourse of the wise, but acquaint yourself with their proverbs, for of them you shall learn Torah and how to serve great men with ease. Miss not the discourse of the elders, for they also learn of their fathers, and of them you shall learn understanding, and to give an answer as needed requires. Kindle not the coals of a sinner, lest you be burnt with the flame of his fire. Rise not up in anger at the presence of an injurious person, lest he lie in wait to entrap you in your words. Lend not unto him that is mightier than yourself, but if you lend him, count it but loss. Be not surety above your power, for if you be surety, take care to pay. Do, go not to law with a judge, for they will judge for him according to his honor. Travel not the way with a bold fellow, lest he become grievous unto you. But he will do according to his own will, and you shall perish with him through his folly. Strive not with the angry, and go not with him into solitary place, for blood is as nothing in his sight. And where there is no help, he will overthrow you. Consult not with a fool, for he cannot keep counsel. Do no secret thing before a stranger, for you know not what he will bring forth. Open not your heart to every man, lest he requite you with a shrewd turn. Chapter 9. Be not jealous over the woman of your bosom, and teach her not an evil lesson against yourself. Give not your soul unto a woman to set her foot upon your substance. Meet not with a harlot, lest you fall into her snares. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest you be taken with her attempts. Gaze not on a maid, that you fall not by those things that are precious in her. Give not your soul unto harlots, that you lose not your inheritance. Look not round about you in the streets of the city, neither wander in the solitary place thereof. Turn away your eye from a beautiful woman, and look not upon another's beauty. For many have been deceived by the beauty of a woman. For herewith love is kindled as a fire. Sit not at all with another man's woman, nor sit down with her in your arms, and spend not your money with her at the wine, lest your heart incline unto her, and so through your desire you fall into destruction. Forsake not an old friend, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, you shall drink it with pleasure. Envy not the glory of a sinner, for you know not what shall be in his end. Delight not in the thing that the wicked have pleasure in, but remember thou shalt not go unpunished unto their grave. Keep far from the man that has power to kill, so shall you not doubt the fear of death. And if you come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away your life presently. Remember that you go into the midst of snares, and that you walk upon the battlement of the city. As near as you can, guess at your neighbor, and consult with the wise. Let your talk be wise, and all your communication in the Torah of El Elyon. And let just men eat and drink with you, and let your glory be in the fear of Yahuwah. For the hand of the artificer, the work shall be commended, and the wise ruler of the people for his speech. A man of ill tongue is dangerous in his city, and he that is rash in his talk shall be hated. And that will conclude right now. I have read the chapters of 6, chapter 7, chapter 8, and chapter 9 in the Sefer, the book of Sirach, called Ecclesiasticus. Shalom.